Yeah, in the last video, we have seen different methods of thread class and different constructors, and we have seen the methods like setName, which will be setting the name of the thread, which will be setting the name of a thread, and we have used getName to get the name of the thread, which we have setted, and this getName method will be returning a string. And we have seen the run method of our thread class. Okay, it is void method. So this run method will be executed every time. Okay, when this run method will be executed, when we are making a call using the start method. When the start method is called, at that time only run method will be executed. These are interrelated. When you call this start method, then only this will be executed. Otherwise, it will not execute. Okay. So in the first video we have discussed, in the first lesson of our threads, we have discussed like when the thread will be coming to the waiting state and all, right. So we said like the thread will be coming to the waiting state when we suspend the thread, for some amount of time. Okay, let's discuss that. So in order to suspend a thread, we have a method called suspend. We have a method called suspend public void suspend, and this is a final method. So this suspend method is used for suspending the thread from the current execution. So if a thread is executing, let's say if a thread T1 is executing, if you want to suspend that thread, you'll call T1 dot suspend. When you call a T1 dot suspend, at that time it will stop the execution of the CPU will stop the execution of the thread, and the thread, whatever the thread you stopped it, that thread will be coming to the waiting state. Okay. So, and one more thing, when you stop when you suspend the thread, the thread will be coming to the waiting state. What it will do is, uh, before it coming to the waiting state, it will store the result, no temporary result into the PCB. PCB. This is called process control block. We can say that process control control block. So in this, we are the thread is going to store the partial result. See, before suspending the thread, if the thread performs some operation, what it will do is it will store that partial result into this process control block, or we can say that uh, JCB. It is not the JCB we are thinking, it is a different JCB. JCB. It is job control block. Okay. JCB in the sense job control block. You can either call PCB process control block, or you can call JCB job control block. Okay. Fine. Let's see that. Let's see that method, suspend method. Okay. Let's go and see a simple real-time scenario for this suspending the currently executing thread. So let's say we have a class called maintenance. Hence, this is a maintenance class. Okay, this maintenance class will extends thread. Okay, that's fine. So let me post a question over here. Okay, there is a web server. So there is a web server that has a thread which needs to handle the incoming request. During the maintenance, we will be stopping all the processes temporarily. Temporarily, we'll be processing all the okay processes. So I have a maintenance class. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll be creating a I'll be overriding a run method. I'll be overriding a run method first. I'll be overriding a run method. I'll say um, while directly while true. So you should say that if maintenance, let me define this a variable actually. If the maintenance mode is something true, the maintenance mode is true. So I'll define this one. This is a final variable and I'll be giving this as a boolean. I'll say maintenance mode equals to true. If the maintenance mode equals to true, then what you have to do? You have to stop all the processing. Okay, so let me give this as a private, and that's fine. Private, final, boolean, maintenance mode. If the maintenance mode is true, then what you have to do is you have to say that simple message server is under the under the maintenance mode. Um, so we are not accepting any request as of now. Correct. As of now, we are not accepting any request. Okay. So then what you have to do is you directly say suspend. Directly say suspend. You directly say suspend. So when you call suspend, it will suspend the currently executing thread. Okay. So when you call the run method, and if the maintenance mode is true at that time, it will suspend the currently executing thread. Okay. And if this might cause any exception, suspend method may throw interrupted exception. So let me handle that by writing the try and catch block. Uh, yeah, as this is causing problem, let me write this one inside try. And let me write the appropriate catch block. I'll say interrupted exception, x, and directly say interrupted exception. Interrupted exception, say sort of interrupted exception. If there is another exception, generic exception we are getting, we'll catch that exception as well. Exception ex, will say sort of ex. What is this? Delete the interrupted exception is never thrown. Okay. Sleep might throw the interrupted exception, not this one. Okay, fine then. We have given the generic exception. Okay, fine then. So what we have written, the while will always return true. Okay. So now what we are doing is inside the while we have written the maintenance check. If the maintenance mode is true, so we are saying that server is under maintenance mode. We are not accepting any request as of now. And if it is not, we are like crossing the request. Okay. If we are not, we are processing the request. If not, what we are doing is we are processing the request. So let's write that. I'll say processing the request. Processing the request. That's all. Processing the request. That's enough. Okay. So now what I'll do is I'll make a call to this method. Okay, let's see what will happen. I'll do one thing. I'll try to read this maintenance mode using a scanner. Okay, so I'll say scanner goes to new scanner of system.in. I'll import java.util.scanner semicolon, because the scanner will be available in that package only. Now what you do is you just ask an input actually. Okay, here we will be asking an input scanner dot next boolean. So we will be storing this. I'll do one thing. I'll not make this as a final. Let's say here maintenance mode. So something. And fine. So now scanner. That's fine. So here I'll write some small sort statement. I'll say enter the okay. Is the server is running or in maintenance mode? Choose yes or no. Choose yes or no. So I'll say if they choose yes, next dot, I'll say equals of. If it is yes, so I'll take it true. If it is no, so I'll take it as a by default, it will be false only. Okay. So equals method, what it will do is if you press yes, if you give yes, it will return true. It will return true. Okay. This will be executed. If you are giving no, so then it will be no. Okay. So it would be a not true. It's maintenance mode. Yeah. Maintenance mode. Yeah. Correct. Fine. So that's fine. So no confusions, nothing. So what we did is we just introduced a scanner. We are trying to read the input value from our keyboard, and we are saying that if the server is running or whether it is a maintenance mode. If the maintenance mode is on, so we should say yes. If there is no maintenance mode, we should say no. Okay. If no, if yes, so this will be executed. If block will be executed, otherwise, so this simple statement will be executed. Okay. So now let's go and create a client app for this one. So I'll create a client app called maintenance client application. So I'll be creating a main method inside it. I'll say maintenance equals to new maintenance. I'll say maintenance dot, I'll say start. So when you call start, at that time only the respected run method will be called, and the logic provided inside this so will be executed. Either you can take entire thing into separate method, or you can directly write in a run method itself. There's no problem in that. Okay. So that's it. Let's run this one. Let's see. Run as Java application. So it will prompt you to enter it will prompt you to enter whether the server is in maintenance mode or not. So if I say yes, so server is under maintenance mode. We are not accepting any request as of now. Okay. So now if I say no, let's say, let me rerun it. See, if I say no, so it will say that processing the request. See, processing the request. Cool, right? Fine. That's all. That's all about the suspend method. Okay. So you can use the suspend method. Actually, this suspend method is a deprecated actually. Going forward, you can't see the suspend method, but as of now, like for time being, we have seen what exactly suspend method and all. Okay. That's all. In the next video, we'll see the next method.